Hi, welcome to Soul Bridge Holistics. I'm Julie, and I will be your guide for understanding more about what it means to be an energy healer or a healer in general, and who exactly is your tribe, who is your soul family. So I just wanted to give you a little introduction to tell you my story, my mission, and something about what energy work is. So when I was 6 or 7 years old, I already was communicating with these invisible guides, these spirit guides. I could sense them, I could hear them. This is not schizophrenia or mental illness, but of course everything I'm saying right now is my own particular experience. And so, of course, you need to use your own discretion when you're speaking to people who say they hear voices, because I am a social worker and I've worked with people who do have mental illness, and there is a big difference. So this is a very subtle, nuancey kind of thing where thoughts are put in my head like, bet you can't find your hairbrush. And I'd look and I'd go, where is my hairbrush? This is Fred. And I'd go, hi Fred, where's my hairbrush? And then I'd proceed to go through all my drawers and go, found it, haha, like what's it doing in there? And so those kinds of little toying sorts of behaviors with this first spirit guide. Then later on, I had the vision of a young Native American. So my background is with Seneca Iroquois, and I haven't had connection to that part of my family on my father's side. We're pretty disenfranchised culturally and spiritually, and so I've learned more about Native American culture and reconnecting to my father's side of the family just by being around other nations and learning to associate myself with those healers, because I'm attracted to anyone who's an energy healer. And so internationally, the indigenous people are very loved by me, and I connect with them. We connect, we see eye to eye. I remember this young, I want to say she was probably 16, girl named Faradir, who always came to me in a vision wearing a sort of a fringy deerskin dress and moccasins, and she would always tell me to try and get out in nature. And so I'd find myself walking around the little town I was in and walking down the stream beds, studying the animals like the fish, the crawdads, the wild plants, and hearing messages like, be still like the wind, make yourself a tree, be invisible. And so I would practice standing there and just absorbing the sound of wind, the sound of birds, the kind of animals that were there, and attuning myself to nature. So that spirit guide had that influence on me. And then later on I had a spirit guide who influenced me by appreciation of cultures, international cultures. And I kept seeing some kind of Middle Eastern culture. And I didn't know what it was, but I was really attracted to foreign music. And so by the time I got into middle school, I was drawing pictures of international people and going to the library to look for books on different cultures. And by the time I was in high school, I was in a troupe of international folk dancers and designing international costumes. And two that I really took a liking to were Arabic writing, Arabic music, and also Turkish music. So I was studying Arabic and Turkish, how to write in Arabic, how to speak in Turkish. And I actually went to Turkey when I turned 18. And lo and behold, it turns out that Turks used to write in Arabic and speak Turkish because they didn't have their own alphabet. So for me, that was a wake-up call. Like, there's something to these messages I'm getting, these intuitive hunches that I'm getting, these flashes of things in my head, and those were how they started. And later on, it was looking at something, asking, what do you think of this? And the spirit guides coming through to give me advice on things. And then when I ask a question about another person, like, tell me about this person, they would start to give me information like that. I actually developed that more when I when I moved to the Bay Area, because in the 80s the Berkeley Psychic Institute was holding classes, so I could learn everything about energy channeling and intuition. And there wasn't an internet at that time. It was just finding your tribe, connecting with people. They would tell you which classes are being held where, and connect you with them, and you'd sort of be connected, by word of mouth. So I found that I have a love of working with energy, working with plants and medicinal plants, and it can be everything from comfrey leaves to wild plants that I can use for salves, and for different kinds of compresses, for rashes, and even for energy level. And I found one for coughing too. So I started to grow some of those plants, and I'd love to share that content with you also. The other thing I've been doing is working with specific kinds of cultural medicine. So I worked with Lama Gaiden Zangpo, who was a Buddhist Lama, and I worked with him to become a Reiki master. You have to become a master from another master, but that doesn't mean that you can't become good at Reiki if you don't have a master teacher to connect you with that lineage and then connect you with those spirits that carry on that lineage. So there's a lot of work with Reiki that I could be discussing with you, and some things I could be teaching you. Also learning how to protect your energy, how to ground yourself, how to run energy, to heal yourself, different things like that I'll be sharing. I'll give you a tour of my apothecary and some of the medicinal plants that I grow and use. I'd like to tell you more about guides and angels and how I connect, because people who channel or give intuitive messages all seem to have their own particular ways that they do it. And then as far as the name Soul Bridge, that I'm a bridge to another world, that I connect with those spirits. They're also called souls, and how they come through, what it feels like to be connecting like that, and help you so that you can do it too. And basically wake you up to who your higher self is, that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, that we are luminous, we are light-filled, we are the light everywhere we walk. Sometimes that can be a burden because a bright light attracts moths, and so you'll attract positive and negative kinds of beings, the service to self and service to other beings. Hopefully I'm helping people to become service to other, to recognize the luminous self that they are, to help them connect to their own guides and their own life purpose and their mission. But I feel that my mission has pretty much been to be a teacher, healer, and to leave a legacy of healing and mending energy and helping people to become more of who they can be and to become more productive, happy, positive influences in the world. That's a legacy I hope to hold, and I hope you will stay with me on this journey. Please like and share and subscribe, and help others to understand who they are by sharing my videos. Thank you so much, and have a luminous day.